for today's webinar, we're going to go ahead and outline essentially the ShipWorks Insurance program. We're going to be looking at coverage benefits, the claims benefits and process, and we'll also go over ShipWorks Insurance versus declared value coverage that you get with certain carriers. Right now, I'd actually like to introduce Walt and Kyle over with InsureShip. They're going to be talking about the insurance program and give kind of an overview of the company and a little bit more about how the insurance works within ShipWorks. So, Walt, if you want to go ahead and take it away.
Hi, Sean. Thank you. Appreciate that. InsureShip's based here in Los Angeles. We're very customer-centric, meaning really at the end of the day, we make sure that our customers are happy with the program that we offer them. All we do is cargo insurance as a company. And so when you think of an insurance company, they might sell homeowners insurance, car insurance, life insurance. We do none of that. The only insurance we offer is cargo. So we're very, very specific to folks in the transportation, logistics, small, medium, large-sized businesses moving small packages. Our focus has been this for the last 16 years, and thanks to our underwriters, such as Navigators and Lloyd's of London, it makes us one of the largest cargo insurance company here in the United States. Thanks to Lloyd's of London, it also allows us to operate in 94% of every country worldwide, and you'll see a little bit of that as we move forward. Our licensing, us being an insurance company, we have to adhere to Department of Insurance standards, and not just here in the state of California, but in all the states here in the U.S. So we hold and manage all 50 state licenses here within the U.S., and every one of my employees, my customer service folks, my claims agents, my adjusters, all have their licenses, and they're all done in-house. Thanks to the relationship of the Lloyd's marketplace, we also have coverages worldwide. So our coverage stems from not just a US-based shipment, but a all-risk peril coverage, which means you can ship out a package from Canada, move it to the UK, and we can still fully insure that package. Our coverage language is easy to understand. We really ripped out a lot of the legal jargon so that our customers, the shippers, can really understand what the insurance coverage is about. And ours being the most broad coverage, it's going to be the smallest terms and conditions policy that you'll be able to read. There's only a handful of things that we can insure, which really gives us that step up from the carrier. Lastly, because of this great relationship we do have with ShipWorks, we have a very, very simple online process that goes right through the ShipWorks platform. Not only can you easily buy the insurance at a lesser price with ShipWorks, but you can also file a claim right through that software. So no having to deal with multiple 1-800 numbers or different websites or whatever else. One throat to choke, right where you're doing your shipping is right where you can file your claim. I'm going to kick it over to Kyle here, and he'll talk a little bit about the benefits of what the offer is, as well as maybe hopefully explain a little bit more of how the insurance all-risk coverage works.
Hey, guys. Okay, so before we jump into the slide here, I just want to touch base on insurance at its basic principle, which is the transferring of risk to another party. So the main benefit here being you're able to offset a larger loss for a nominal fee. It's not so surprising the loss or damage can be very common. You know, you're looking at your package transitioning hands up to 8 times during transit, shipping conditions, sorting machines, and of course, you know, the end drops on the stoop, or as I've seen before, leaving the package to soak in the rain, or, you know, giving a good throw over the fence, as I'm sure you've seen on some of the YouTube videos there. And so that's where we come in. You know, Walt will expand this shortly to show you just how, you know, little coverage you're actually getting with a carrier compared to the comprehensive coverage you're receiving with ShipWorks Insurance and that all-risk open peril policy, which is really the best you can get in the industry. So, you know, looking at the coverage, the convenience factor, you know, is pretty huge too. We know you have a business to worry about, so we try to make the process as simple as possible. You know, as an example, and I think Walt might have touched base a little bit too, is you know, you can set rules to auto purchase coverage, file your claim, view your claim status. You know, you're essentially consolidating your shipping, your insurance, and claims management all in a single location when using ShipWorks Insurance on the ShipWorks platform, which is you know, a pretty huge efficiency booster there. And this last one is a pretty big one for me. It's customer service. So I'm sure most of you had the pleasure of dealing with calling into the carrier's customer service line. And what the carrier gives you is really a general call center that's built for multiple purposes, leading you to various automated menus. You have long wait times, and eventually, you'd be pressing 0 as fast as possible in the hope of speaking to a human and gaining some of your sanity back. ShipWorks Insurance customers, if you give us a call, you're going to get a real live dedicated ShipWorks Insurance agent right off the bat, whose sole job is to assist ShipWorks customers with their insurance needs. This is why you're not going to get the same drawn-out experience as you would with a carrier. We specialize in insurance, and we've been at it for 16 years now, so we know how to provide the best services possible. So let's go ahead and move on to the next slide here. Okay, so this right here is just a map to show you how extensive the coverage actually is. So as you can see, we have 94% of North and South America, and of that, there's 100% coverage in North America. You have 90% of Europe, Asia, and Africa, and also we have 100% of Australia, and not to worry, if you have a shipment going to Antarctica, we've got you covered there too, apparently. So now really the most impressive thing in this slide is that our non-covered commodity list can actually fit on the bottom portion of this page. Okay, with the other carriers, you're looking at pages of prohibited items, and even when it's covered, you might not have the coverage you think you do, as there's various sublimits that might apply when you are declaring that value through the carrier. And looking at the bottom right there, that's going to show you the remaining 16% on that map, which essentially are locations that are either embargoed by the United States, or you're looking at restrictions by the Office of Foreign Asset Control, which pretty much monitors the high-risk areas due to war, terrorism, or pretty much places you otherwise would not want to be. All right. So I think with that said, I'll go ahead and throw it back to Walt here in the next slide.
Thanks, Kyle. Coverage details. And guys, this is pretty important, get an understanding as to what the offering really is. Our coverage details are pretty simple. The first one is any shipment can get insured up to $5,000 of insurable value. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you need to purchase $5,000 worth of insurance. You can purchase $100, $200, $300 worth of insurance, but the ability to be able to scale up to $5,000 can really give you that umbrella on any shipment that you have to ship out and get it insured. The second point is a shipment doesn't have to originate within the United States. Well, that's one of the largest questions that we have. A lot of our shippers that are maybe drop shipping from the UK into South America, from Canada down to Australia, there doesn't have to be a restriction where that shipment needs to originate here within the US to get it insured. We can fully insure any parcel moving to or from any point worldwide, as long as it doesn't come from one of those restricted areas that Kyle spoke about in the last slide. Declaring the value. This is a pretty big point as well. A lot of our customers ask the question of what should I put in that declared value? Well, simply put, think of it like car insurance. If you're driving a very nice car, say you're driving a Ferrari around, but you tell your insurance provider that Ferrari only costs you $30,000 opposed to $100,000. Well, what's going to happen if there's an accident that occurs? The insurance can only pay out what the declared value was, which was that $30,000 amount. So it's key that declared value portion in the ShipWorks place, put the full value of what that package is worth. Then if there's a problem or an issue, you'll receive that full value back in return. The last offering within the coverage is a penny one coverage availability. A lot of people have questions about that, but really at the end of the day, what that means is you can insure that shipment specifically from penny one, opposed to having to use Federal Express, UPS, any of the other carriers' first $100 worth of insurance and then purchase additional insurance from us. This ability allows you to go to what I like to say, one throat to choke, which means come directly to us and have to file a claim once for that shipment, opposed to going to two different companies, one from the carrier and then one from us to file these claims. It's an option to you guys, so whether you use it or not, it's there, and you can elect that coverage.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk claims here. So we've built out the process to be as simple as possible while remaining within the boundaries that are designed for us by the Department of Insurance. So, we try to really make it to be as minimal as we can. And I think we've kind of accomplished that here. So with ShipWorks Insurance, you're able to file directly from your ShipWorks account, which I believe Sean will be giving us an example of here shortly. You still, of course, can email, fax, or even mail us claims should you desire. And as you can see here, the claim requirements are pretty straightforward. As I mentioned previously, we are bound by the Department of Insurance, and it's actually ultimately for your protection that we get these documents, which should be easy enough with the way we have it set up. So one is going to be the claim form, which is going to be electronically filed through your accounts. The other one is going to be proof of value, which would be an invoice, sales receipt, could be the recent eBay auction, anything that can help us establish, the value of the item being claimed. And the last one here is a signed statement from the intended recipient of that package. Moving on here, we got the claims resolution. So we try to expedite the claims process for you guys. We know you have other things to do. So the process generally lasts 5 to 7 business days. And we also make a little convenience over here for making the payments that are issued via check, or you have the option of PayPal as well. So if you don't want to wait, by the mail to arrive, you can go ahead and let us know you want to receive it via PayPal, and we'll send it out to you that way.
Guys, a big question that we receive is, what's the difference between ShipWorks Insurance and the declared value program from the carrier, say, like UPS and Federal Express? And so what we did is created this quick little matrix here to get an understanding as to what the value is of our insurance program opposed to theirs, the declared value. There's some really big points that are important to understand when we talk about insurance. The first one is a door-to-door coverage. Really what that means is with Federal Express or UPS, after they drop off that parcel and they track that shipment and it says it was delivered at a house, whether it be at a stoop, whether it be, like Kyle said, thrown over the fence, whatever it may be, at that point, then they're no longer responsible for that shipment. Our insurance isn't like that. It's from door-to-door coverage, meaning it leaves your warehouse until the point where it's received by your customers. That's a huge benefit that differs between our program and the declared value. There's also no minimums. With the declared value coverage, say you just want to insure your packages that are average value of about $150. Well, there's a minimum requirement that Federal Express and UPS are going to charge you, which I believe roughly is about $2.50. With our program, you can buy just what you need, which would be the $150 worth of insurance. That right there is going to be a huge cost savings for you. Next one, does not require carrier negligence. With the declared value program, you as the individual have to prove to the carriers that their employees did something wrong to hurt your package. With our insurance, that's not the case. We talked a little bit about this on the first point, but covers losses outside of carrier's control. Meaning, if when that package goes through customs, whether it was delivered and somebody stole it, or it got delivered and it started raining and then that package got destroyed, all those types of perils are covered under our insurance. That wouldn't be covered under the declared value program. Again, we are an insurance company, have to adhere to the Department of Insurance. We are an actual insurance agency. Federal Express and UPS are not. Really what that means is they don't have to abide by any rules on insurance. They can decide to make the rules as they see fit. We don't. There are some very black and white guidelines in our policy of what is covered and what isn't, period. Dedicated customer service, kind of what we alluded to in the earlier of the slides. Our customer service folks are just focused on cargo insurance to help you folks. We're not there to track packages. We're not there to talk about delays, to set up pickup deliveries or anything else like that. Our sole focus is insurance. And lastly, of course, the claims that's built into the platform, very user-friendly, simple process, easy to use. With that being said, I'll hand this over to Sean, and Sean will now kind of go through the ShipWorks platform on how to use the insurance, as well as how to file a claim and so on.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys very much. And yeah, absolutely. We'll take a look at the ShipWorks interface so I can show you guys how to essentially add insurance onto your shipments. We'll go through the process of filing a claim and then also how to view the status of the claim right through the ShipWorks interface. So let me go ahead and bring that up here. Now, within ShipWorks, you have your orders that are ready to ship out. So I'll go into my ready to ship category. All you have to do is you can select a shipment. You can come over here into the shipping panel and just check off the box where it says ShipWorks Insurance. And really, it's as simple as that to add on the insurance on there. You can input the value. By default, we're going to look at the subtotal for the order itself. But if you wanted to change that, you could always input a different value on here. We can also set it up so that insurance is included on any shipment that is going out. So you don't necessarily have to come here and check off a box. So if we go into our shipping settings, and this would be carrier specific, I can come in here, I'll go to my default UPS options, for instance, and I can check off this box right here for insurance. And then I can also set what kind of value I'm looking for. So if I'm looking at the item subtotal, the order total, or even a different amount. So if I'm selling a certain kind of product and I know it's always going to be insured for $100, I could just input that amount right on here. And then once I ultimately have that, I can go ahead and create my label. And once I do have my label, I'll go ahead and just create this real quick on here so we can get that in there. This will provide with my tracking information. And if I go to my shipped out products right here, let's go into this one. We'll go through the process of filing a claim real quick. So what I would do is I would right click on an order. I can go to file claim. That would bring up an interface where I indicate what the claim type is. So if it's damage, lost, if it's missing, I can input that value. The damage value should automatically be pre-populated in there based off of the value that was indicated earlier. You can indicate the item name. So if this is, let's just say it's a basketball, for instance, I can put that in and we can say something like, damaged in transit. There we go. And that's it. I've submitted a claim. Now, what I can then do is if I ever need to view the status of a claim, I can always come into the that interface again. I can click on check status, and this would tell me whether the claim has been received or it's been processed or what the current status is of it right now. You can also reach out to InsureShip directly. We'll have their email address and their contact number right up here at the top. So you can always have access to that and reach out if needed. To get to that claim status just from any order, you can always right click on an order. Again, you can go to file claim and the same window will pop up. And again, I can click on check status and go through that process. That is pretty much it for the ShipWorks interface. I'll go ahead and give a few minutes for anybody to ask any questions on there. I've had a few questions that have come in so far. The first one is, where can you find details about what is covered? So that's actually a great question. I'll actually open up our ShipWorks Insurance website here. So if you wanted to, you can always go to shipworks.com/insurance. About halfway down on the page, we have this button called Coverage Details. So if I click on this, this will actually go into the actual policy itself. It'll show you all the exclusions or requirements. So you can always come in here and have visibility into that information. So this is on our support site right here. Also, our insurance page will give you some nice kind of Q&A or frequently asked questions as well. So if there are other questions you do have, or again, if you need to contact InsureShip about any claim in particular, their contact information is right on here as well. All right, and then another question that has come in is, do you cover the cost of shipping? Walt or Kyle, do you want to handle that one?
Yeah, hi, it's Kyle. So yeah, we do cover the cost of shipping. All we ask is that when you're putting the value in there, when you're insuring your item, that you include that cost during that process. So if you do have a loss when you file the claim, we'll be able to take care of the full amount of the item cost and also any shipping costs associated with that.
All right, excellent. And then another question that had come through is, what is the average time frame for payout? I assume they're talking about the claim payout. So yeah, Kyle or Walt, if you want to go over that a little bit.
Absolutely. So normally after we receive all the documentation, your affidavit, your invoice, after it's all received, we'd like to process that claim fairly quickly. So normally within the 5 to 7 business days, we'd like to get that claim out. We understand that that's money's coming out of your pocket as a small business owner. We want to make sure that we get that back to you as quickly as possible. So normally if there's any delay, it's normally because we haven't received these required documents, again, per the Department of Insurance, to be able to process that claim. But the minute we get those few pieces of information that we need, the processing time to actually get the claim and pay it out, normally about 5 to 7 business days.
All right, awesome. And then another question that had come through is, can you use the ShipWorks Insurance for the first $100? So I assume we're talking about the penny one coverage on there, and yeah, absolutely. So you can set it up as an automatic feature in the system. So if I go back into ShipWorks, we'll go under shipping settings one more time. We'll go ahead and take a look at UPS again, and at the very bottom of this page, you'll have an option to check off a box right here that'll say use ShipWorks Insurance for the first $100 of coverage. So you can check this off, and then as Walt had mentioned a little bit earlier, I mean this will provide some added benefits where there's not 2 claims you have to file, so you could just file a claim right with ShipWorks. So really kind of cut any kind of a tangible insurance claim off of that. But did you want to add anything else to that, Walt or Kyle?
No, you nailed it. That's how easy it is to take that penny one coverage. So now instead of going to multiple folks to file a claim, you select that button there, and then any problems, any issues, you come directly to us, and then we will reimburse you for the full amount of that package.
All right, excellent. Well, it looks like that is all for the questions that have come in so far. If anybody does have any questions regarding ShipWorks or the insurance, please feel free to reach out to our support staff. You'll see our contact information right on here, so support@shipworks.com. You can also give our phone number a call to 800-952-7784, and we'd be able to assist with any insurance questions you have, as well as setting up insurance on there too. So always feel free to give our support staff a call, and we can assist with that. Thank you, everybody, for joining on today. I do appreciate everybody's time, and thank you, Kyle and Walt, for joining on and discussing insureship. And yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.